Hey there, we are live. Let's try this again. So we was just live before about 10 minutes ago, but we was having trouble with our audio. So today I will be discussing how to overcome anxiety during the pandemic because I know a lot of us have been experiencing anxiety being at home. Maybe you're having problems at work, maybe you're unemployed, no telling what that is, but I just want to help you be able to build up your momentum and just get your day started and just give you some tips. So I won't be doing this live by myself. I have another friend who's a life coach and an expert, and she'll be giving some tips as well. So I'm inviting her. I just invited her. So we're gonna wait until she joins, and then we're gonna get started. Hey there, thank you for joining. We are talking about how to overcome anxiety during the pandemic and how to build up your momentum. I'm currently waiting for a friend who's a life coach to join to help give us some tips. So just give us a few minutes, not even a few minutes, maybe a minute or so. Okay, here she is. Tell us a message. Where are you joining from? Tell us your name and where you're joining from. Hey,
Okay.
Ashley. There she is, the beautiful Ashley, Miss Fab Life. So, yeah, I was
Hey,
to our
hey.
viewers and telling them we are going to be talking about how to come over, oh my God, how to overcome anxiety during the pandemic. And we're going to be giving them some tips because you and I can both relate to this, right, Ashley? So before we get started,
Definitely.
I'll introduce myself and I'll let Ashley introduce herself and what she does, and then we'll go into the tips. So I am Shadana Miranda, known as the Influential Petite. I am a fashion designer and life coach, and my mission is to help women look and feel empowered. And I do that through my designs, and I do also through life coaching. And so I am in the process of hosting a workshop called Activate, Accelerate, and Level Up Your Confidence. And the workshop is really what it says it is, to help women really boost and build their confidence and be bold and walk in their authority. So, leading up to the workshop, myself and two other ladies who are going to be hosting with me will be coming on every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time to give some tips to help you in your life to really boost your confidence. And every week we'll have a different topic. One of the ladies couldn't make it, but myself and Ashley is here. And so I'll let Ashley tell you a little bit about herself and then we'll go into the tips. Go for it, Ashley.
Yes, most definitely. So, like I always say, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be considered to be a part of your platform. So, thank you for that. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ashley Young. I am a little bit of everything. I am life coach or life strategist, as I like to call myself, author of two books, well, like two and a half books. I have a journal that I've also created as well. So, I'm mainly passionate about giving women a space to honor every facet of themselves. So, the fabulous life, the fabulous woman, I teach you how to embrace every part of that and whatever that means for you. Because I think that we have to be mindful in being true to ourselves at all times. And I feel like that's when we're able to be our best selves. So I created my platform called Fab Life 31 to help women understand what it is like to be really the modern day Proverbs 31 woman.
Oh,
What does that look
yeah.
like in 21? So that a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, are you 31 years old? What does the 31 stand for?" But no, it was actually inspired by the multifaceted Proverbs 31 woman because when you read that verse, she does it all. She's honored by her family. Everybody in the town loves her. She's a businesswoman. She's a mother. She does all these things. And even in today's society, a lot of us as women, we do so many things. We wear so many hats. So how do we do that from a modern perspective? So that is a little bit about me.
That was actually a good intro. And speaking of the Proverbs 31 woman, I've read the Bible before, but that verse never stood out to me until somebody said when I turned 31 this year, because I'm actually 31. It's like, oh, you're a Proverbs 31 woman. I'm like, what's that? And I went back and read that verse, and I'm like, wow, this woman is so multifaceted. And then I did a devotional on it, but it was very interesting. But thank you for saying that because she really does it all.
Mhm. Oh, for sure. Yeah. So she is the woman behind my inspiration for the brand name. So
That's good.
yeah.
So let's talk about how to overcome anxiety, how to overcome stress. I was in counseling recently, a few months back, and one of the things my therapist told me, he said, since the pandemic, anxiety have increased, and depression has increased because people just don't know how to deal with what's going on, and so I want to share some tips on how you can overcome that. Myself and Ashley, we talk often, and so we know what's going on in each other's world, and we just like, girl, how you doing today? And it's just like, oh, it's stressful, this happened, that happened. And so you have to pick yourself up because nobody's going to motivate you like yourself. So I'm going to share 3 tips. My first tip is meditation. It's something that I talk about often, but it's something that I truly live by. And I believe in morning meditation. How you start your day off is so important. And a lot of people say, well, I can't meditate because thoughts are always running through my mind. I'm like, I tell people meditation is an art, so you have to continue to practice it. But even if you have those racing thoughts, you still need to get some quiet time the first thing in the morning, at least for 10 minutes where you can just quiet down. Because one thing you want to do, you want to have control over your day and how your day gets started. And so one thing that works for me, I don't answer text messages. I don't look at emails on my phone. I don't open social media because that's really a distraction and it really affects how you get your day started. So that's why I suggest my first tip is meditation. I start off with some quiet time. Just collect your thoughts, really gather them. That's really going to help you start your day off. The second thing I do is affirmations. During this time, words have power. You really have to speak life into yourself. You can't expect your spouse to do it, your kids, your co-workers, your family members. You have to speak life into yourself. And even on some of my roughest days, I still have to remind myself I'm beautiful, I am a queen, I am financially stable, I am working, like all of these affirmations. So after my meditation, I go straight into affirmations. And sometimes even after that, I don't always have the best day, but I still feel a little bit better about myself and I'm in more control of my life, if that makes sense. So meditation, affirmations, and I'm a Christian woman, so prayer. I always pray, and I'm not gonna say it seems crazy, but we don't think that God is listening or you're always praying for something, but trust me, God always hears. And sometimes when I pray, he'll answer me immediately, and sometimes when I pray, it's like crickets. I'm like, okay, God, you see what's going on. I need the money, I need this, I need that. And there's this saying that said he don't come when you want him, but he always right on time. So that's 3 tips that I can share with you that's really, worked in my life and it's been keeping me sane and keeping me going because I've dealt with stress. I've dealt with, many depression and different things. But like I said, you have to pick yourself back up. So I want to inspire you and encourage you to hopefully try to implement some of these things into your life. And so I'll go ahead and
Yeah.
Ashley, because I know she has the best tips too.
So those are actually phenomenal tips. And I like the fact that you did point out the idea of, not everybody has 3 hours in the morning to, meditate and do yoga. And although that would be lovely, we all have very busy schedules, right? So I like the fact that you included like, hey, this 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback off a little bit, I always like to tell people like, how can you incorporate these things into the things that you're doing already?
Yeah.
So there is a way, like, for take your showers in the morning, you can meditate in the shower.
Yeah.
Like put some essential oil in, let the steam kind of steam that up. And just as the water is coming down, hey, I'm so thankful. Hey, these are my intentions for the day. Use that time. If you don't have maybe like 10 minutes to carve out and say, hey, I gotta, sit down for 10 minutes. Because we're all so like wired and feeling like we doing things. So sometimes it does help to incorporate it into things that you're going to be doing already,
Can
so
just broke thought when you say meditate in the shower? I also want to say even on your drive to work, that's a good idea. Because in Houston traffic, 1 hour drive could be, meditate. But go ahead. But that just the thought, you can meditate in the car while you're driving. You don't have to be listening to the radio or music. That could be your meditation time.
Most definitely. Yeah, so just to hop into my 3 tips, I was a little overzealous. So I may to be strategic. But the one thing that I did want to mention, well, my number one is always check in with yourself first. Because a lot of times when we have feelings, we feel like we need to fix it immediately. We feel guilty for even feeling bad. Or we just don't really know how to process those feelings. Or sometimes we're in a space where we just feel the feelings. Sometimes we need to cry. Sometimes we need to break down. Sometimes we need to fall out on the floor and just be, because I don't think that it is helpful to kind of push those feelings aside or try to push them away, because they're there and they are valid. So I think number one is always checking in with yourself first. Like, okay, in this moment, I'm not feeling the best. In this moment, I maybe feel depressed, I'm sad, I don't like what's happening, right now. So what is it that I need personally to help me get out of this space? Do I need to talk to someone? Do I need to maybe schedule a therapy? Do I need to call up a friend, a family member, a loved one, whoever that may be? Or do I just need to sit in these feelings for a little bit?
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Just give a little bit of time. I think years ago, one of my best friends shared a Beyonce interview with me, and she was basically saying she only allows herself to feel bad for about 24 hours or something like that. Don't quote me if I'm getting that incorrect, but along those lines, like, hey, I'm gonna get myself for the next hour, I'm gonna be sad, I'm gonna cry, and I'm just gonna be, and then you'll realize, like, actually, I don't really need to cry for an hour. Maybe I only needed 5 minutes, But the main point that I'm saying is allow yourself to feel that, so that way you can get out of that space, so you can figure out what your game plan is going to be. Just don't push it away, is what I'm saying. So
I was on a tag team because you and I talked before, and you talked about the issue with Black women. Sometimes we want to be superwoman. So we don't always process our feelings. Like, we'll have something that's going on in our life, but we don't process it. We'll move on to the next thing, And so lately I've been cry if something is going on, and just letting it out. It's okay to let out tears and to let out that type of energy. It's very therapeutic. So I like what you talked about, checking in with yourself. Okay, am I really okay? Before moving on to something else.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that, because I think that even like women like you and I, who are in a space where we help to motivate people and we have all these tools and these strategies. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm like, I feel legit guilty for having a day where I just want to cry, or I just want to sulk or be sad. I'm just like, I know better feeling like this, or whatever. That's not realistic, and I feel like in order to be a good coach or a good strategist or whatever the case may be, you have to connect to that real aspect of yourself and understand, okay, well, how do I navigate through these things? So that was something that I really wanted to pinpoint and make sure that people understand. So going into I guess the third form of it, that was the first one. And then the should I talk to someone was the second one, but the third one is going to have a few points too. Okay. So the third one is after you figured out that whether or not you need to feel your feelings, should you talk to someone, the third one is going to be, okay, how do I shift my energy? If this is the state that you feel like you're in, that you should shift yourself, then I have a couple of tips for those as well. So if you're in a space where you feel like you want to shift your energy, gratitude is always number one. I literally have a whole chapter in my book, Glow Through It, that says gratitude is your superpower. It literally is like a superhero cape. Whatever type of superpower you would imagine having, gratitude is similar to that. Because when you think, like, for example, if you are having a moment, right, but you're inside of your car, you'll sit there crying, and you're like, wait a minute, but I'm crying inside of a car. A car that's mine, a car that's from point A to point B. Or wait a minute, I'm crying inside an apartment that's fully furnished with a refrigerator that's full of food. Like, it's like a domino effect of, I'm okay. Like, I maybe not be all the way okay, but I'm okay, in this moment. So gratitude is like a domino effect that will help you realize, like, I'll get through this moment, So gratitude will be the first tip to shift your energy. Then the second tip is find something that brings you joy. So this is a little prop that I brought along, and this is what I call a joy jar. So in this jar is like little pieces of paper that have things that I enjoy doing on them. So if I'm feeling like in a funk or something like that, I'll pick up the jar, pull something out of it, and then do whatever's on the slip. So it may be things like try a new recipe, do an art project, go outside for a walk, go to a new restaurant, like whatever level you feel like you're on, fill up a jar or a cup or whatever box, whatever you want to do with something like this. And you can go to this, like in order to shift your energy or find something that brings you joy, right? So the third one,
I'm gonna try that.
the third and huh?
I'm gonna try that, Joy.
Yeah, you should try it because sometimes you forget, like you, I don't know what to do. I don't
Right.
know, whatever. So that just puts everything in one place. So the final one is find something to get excited about. Something that I always talk about on my platform is that usually when we're feeling sad or kind of feeling depressed, it's because we're thinking about the future, right? But we're thinking about the future or even the present in a sense of not having what we want. So if you can shift your energy really quick and think, what if I had what I wanted already? Or what is it going to feel like when I get that thing? You can always start planning, whether it's a vision board, whether it's looking at photos, whether it's going to look at it in person, or whether it's, talking to people who have it through mentorship or whatever the case may be. There is something that you can do to get yourself excited. Do you need to change your schedule to match the schedule of the woman that would be living the life that you want to live? Like, what can you start doing now to feel like you want to feel in the future? I know I just said a lot, but I hope that makes sense.
It
I
makes
really
a
do.
lot of sense, Ashley. And when I first met you, you was like the queen of find something to get excited about. And as I talked to you, I was like, okay, I need to find stuff to get excited about. And I remember this story you told me before you started driving your fabulous Mercedes. You had another car before, but you wanted a Mercedes. And so, just to get excited about it, you went test drove the car. You went to the Mercedes dealership and test drove the car. You didn't plan to buy it, but you knew that you would buy that car in the future. So you're getting excited about what's to come. And I actually did that recently and did it a few times. I went to the Lexus dealership, test drove a Lexus.
Yeah.
I got excited because it was like, I know that I'm going to be driving this car soon. So it's like she said, find something to get excited about and live as if you already have it. And you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you have to live as if you already have it. Um,
And just to offer a bit more detail on that story, or even just in general,
mhm.
going to do the test drive, going to tour the house, or whatever it is great. However, a lot of times when people hear act as if or live as if you already have it, they kind of get discouraged because they're like, well, how do I act like I have money when my bank account is in the negative? Or how do I act like I have a car when every time I start my car up, I'm praying because I don't know if it's going to start? It's little things like that. The thing about it is, it's like, how would I treat my new car? How can I do my old car like I would do my new car? So me, for example, when I was in my old car, I would start parking it far out because I knew that that's what I was going to do with my new car. I started to get it detailed. When I was at the traffic lights, I would like literally trace the emblem on the car that I had. Like it was like I was embodying the mentality or the mindset of the person that had that thing. So really that's what it means. It doesn't mean, oh, let me go out and spend money I don't have. Let me go out and buy a whole bunch of clothes or do all these things. It's embodying that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you guys realize this, but a lot of times the things we want isn't necessarily material based, it's feeling based.
Yeah,
You want to feel
yeah, that's true.
have a Mercedes and feel like you have the 4-bedroom house. You want to feel like you have the successful business. So that's a feeling that you can feel right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I like that. You really have to feel like, even for myself, like I've been house hunting and then I'll share it in my story, like looking at new houses and people like, oh, you're buying a home. And I'm like, yes, maybe not at the moment, but down the line, I will be purchasing a home. So you really have to somewhat act as if you already have it. Hey, Charlene, thank you for joining. That's my cousin. We're talking about how to overcome anxiety during a pandemic, and we were just giving some great tips. So I think that was good, Ashley. Um,
Thank
you have anything else before we close out?
I think that was pretty much it. So I don't know if we have any late joiners, but just to kind of recap,
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a great idea for you guys to back and watch the replay because we did drop some great
You
gems.
dropped some.
Because Miranda was saying, like, in the times that we're in, there are so many different things that we're all experiencing. You know, this is a time like unlike any other. So we need to, you know, kind of each other through this. You know, how can we go through these different emotions and, you know, still not lose ourselves in the process? So for me, just to recap, I just wanted to make sure that number one, you always, if you're feeling like you're in a funk, feeling sad or depressed or anything like that, check in with your feelings. Make sure that this isn't a moment where you just need to cry, you just need to sulk or whatever. If you do, that's okay, sis. Get on the couch, cry, get you a thing of Kleenex, and it'll be all right. It'll be all right in a couple hours.
Will be good. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, check in with yourself. See if you need to talk to someone, maybe a therapist or a close friend, loved one, family member. Always check in. Always feel comfortable expressing your feelings because people love you, your family loves you. We need you here. All those different types of things. And people are here for you. So, you know, always reach out. Always open your mouth. It's okay to feel feelings. It is okay. We, as Black, yes, we're superwomen, but yes, we're also human as well. Okay. So keep that in mind. And also, lastly, gratitude is your superpower. Find something that brings you joy and also find something to get excited about. So those are some of the things to keep in mind on my end.
That's good. And I talked about meditation. I talked about the importance of how you start your day off, starting your day off with quiet time. A lot of times when we get up, we get on our phone, we check messages, we check emails, but that's not always good because you have to be in control of how you start your day. And it's very important that you just kind of gather your thoughts, thinking about what happened yesterday, how you can be better today, and just really collect your thoughts. I talked about affirmation, the power of words, how important that is, speaking power over your life, you know, whatever you want. If you're trying to change your financial situation, you have to tell yourself, I am financially stable. Money comes to me every day. Money comes to me effortlessly and easily. And when I remember when I started saying those things, money started coming to me. Like I was receiving cash apps. Like sometimes I would find like $1 on the street or like a penny. But even a penny, I picked it up. That was still money coming into my life. Like everything matters. And like Ashley spoke about before, showing gratitude, being grateful. So if you're grateful for just a penny, you will be grateful for when you get $1 and $5 and $10. So that's how I was kind of looking at it. So meditation, affirmations, and prayer. I always say prayer, whatever you're going through, God always listens. So, yeah, this was great. We're excited to be on here and to give you these tips. Like I said, we'll be on here every Monday. We're really having fun doing it. And we're human, just like you. We go through these things. And as you go through them, you have to grow through them, right? But you want to be equipped to be able to grow through these things. So, and that's what we're here for. So definitely follow us.
So
Go ahead.
I was gonna say before we close out, I did want to mention one more thing because I know Miss Kai wasn't able to join us today, but I think that it would be beneficial to mention just one thing that's in her arena, which is beauty related. She's absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait until the following week that you guys are able to hear her as well. But show up for yourself.
Yeah.
Show up for yourself every day. Like when you're feeling in a funk, it's okay for you to get up and make yourself look like a human. Make yourself feel like what you make yourself look like, feel like, if that makes sense. So if you get maybe go out, even if it's going down the street, put on a nice outfit, get you, a little light face bead if you feel like it, do something cute to your hair, and it'll shift your energy as well. So that was just like a little bonus point to close out.
That is a good bonus point, because some days when I don't feel like getting up or I just have to run some errands, I'll put on maybe some sweatpants or something. I still put on a little mascara. I still put on some lipstick. Like she say, at least make your face up because it matters. And you'll be surprised how many compliments you get just in a regular day, So
then
and
you have your go-tos like even if I'm not doing makeup, I always have on a nice pair of earrings or something, or if I have to throw on a hat like I have on today. There's always something that's going to make you feel feminine and powerful. So find what that is for you and do that.
Yeah, definitely put some effort into it, because you never know who you're going to meet. You might meet your business partner, your spouse, somebody want to fund your business, your next employer. You just never know, but you want to make sure you're looking presentable. You know, you don't want to look how
Mhm.
you feel. Don't do that, sis.
No,
Yeah, you definitely don't
no, ma'am.
look how you feel.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm still here. Sorry, somebody was
Oh,
calling
okay.
me, so it kind of like put a stagger on my video.
Oh,
What did I leave on
I'll
with?
close us out.
Yeah. What did you hear me say last?
Um, you were just basically saying don't go out looking like you feel.
Oh, okay. Hmm, that's crazy. Okay, so after that, I was saying to follow me. I'm on Instagram at
Oh,
Influential Petite. All you can also like my Facebook page, Shadana Miranda. You can keep up with me and what's going on. And I also have a live workshop coming up called Activate, Accelerate, and Level Up Your Confidence. It's on um, Eventbrite. It's going to be December 4th. Myself will be there. Ashley will be there. We have another expert who's in the beauty industry. Her name is Kai, who couldn't join us. So make sure you go on Eventbrite and check that out. And I'll put a link in the messages after this live video. And then I'll let Ashley tell you a little bit about herself. I'll go ahead and do that.
yeah, of course. So if you guys want to keep up with me, you can actually find me the best way on my website, which is www.fablife31.com, and that's FABLIFE31.com. And then you can join my email list and you can keep up with everything that I have going on. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
So thank you, Ashley. Thank you, everyone who joined us. If you didn't catch the full thing, make sure you go back and watch the replay because we really dropped some gems, like Ashley said earlier. And then catch us next week, next Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, live. We'll be in here just giving you a whole bunch of gems. We'll have another topic as well. So we love you. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, and you have a good night. Bye.
All right.